Hey y'all, Redneck Reads Reddit. Y'all, tonight we're going to do some entitled parents. See what we can get into. See if we can find something that'll be good. I'm out here in Rusty Rotor HQ, so I don't disturb the little wife. And yeah, let's see here. What we got here first? And yeah, I'm on the laptop, so. Um, Entitled mother wants my device, which literally keeps me alive, so her precious baby, teenager, won't be bored. By Donnie YVDB99. Well, this is an interesting scenario I went through today. Background info. I'm a type 1 diabetic and have had diabetes since I was 11. And no, I did not get diabetes because I was fat. It is genetically inherited. I have a machine that basically supplies me with the medication every second of every day to keep my blood sugar stable. When I eat food, I have to type in the amount of carbohydrates in the meal into the machine, and I will be given a dosage of my medication via this. This device is centered around my stomach and is hidden by my shirt until I have to manually type in carbs to the device. The device is called an insulin pump. If my explanation on what it is not clear enough, you can search insulin pump on Google and read and look at images there. I need this device. No two ways about it. Now on to the story. Cast is me. EM is entitled Mom. EK is Teenage Crotch Goblin. NW is Nice Worker. And PO is Police Officer. So, I'm out at a restaurant when my food order arrives. I have to type in the carbs on my insulin pump. When entitled mother and entitled kid get into the story, I see entitled kid staring at me from another table when he says something to entitled mother, which I can't make out. The entitled mother comes up to me. My son likes your phone. Give it to him, and you can probably buy a new one later. I then reply, this is a medical device. I am type 1 diabetic. I need it to survive. Entitled mother replies, no you're not. She's laughing. You're not fat enough. I try to explain that type 1 diabetes is genetically inherited, but I should have known that entitled mother has half a brain cell. Stop making excuses and give it to him now. Me, lady, I just want to eat. Please leave me alone. And she was, not until you hand over the phone. Me, quite annoyed now. Please leave me alone, or I will talk to the workers here. The entitled mother doesn't stop, so I go to the waiter who has been serving me. And before I get a word in, the entitled mother says, he stole my kid's phone, arrest him now. I tell the worker the whole story and I show him that my insulin pump is not a phone, and lo and behold, the worker is also type 1 diabetic, and he tells the entitled mother to leave me alone or the police will be called. All the while this is happening, entitled kid has been screaming about the game he has been playing on his Switch, cursing at it and making a racket bothering other customers. The entitled mother says, I know the manager here. He will have you fired if you... And the worker says, lady, the manager is my uncle. I have never seen you here before. Leave this young man alone now before I have to ask you to leave. The entitled mother storms back to her table. Wait, you thought this was over? As entitled mother is walking back to her table, the entitled kid loses it. He seems to have lost whatever game he was playing. Flings his Switch hard at a framed poster against the wall where a couple are sitting. And the glass shattered all over the woman's arm, causing bleeding. Everyone is furious. The police are called. The entitled mother and entitled kid are taken away. And the couple are pressing charges. And everyone there got a coupon. Yay! I hope to never encounter this scenario again. Although it was a great feeling to see entitled kid and entitled mother being taken away. Okay, you're telling me that this entitled crotch goblin, I think is what you called him. No, teenage crotch goblin. Entitled teenage crotch goblin had a switch. He lost a game and he threw it. But he wanted your quote unquote phone. Yeah. Well, I hope the couple that presses charges nails them to the wall. And I hope they lose his switch in evidence. Yep. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, let's see here. Entitled mother brings her 4 kids to an adult-only wedding by really Frynsk, 2001. Frynsk, 2001. Frynsk. I attended an adult-only wedding for a coworker a few days ago. The actual ceremony was in a very small church, so it was mostly family and close friends. But the reception was for roughly 250 people. The reception was at a very elegant hotel ballroom, not child-friendly in any way. Crystal stemware, expensive linens on the table, etc. About a half hour into the reception, a commotion started that made everyone stare. Entitled mother is arguing with the wedding planner loudly. Me being the nosy broad that I am, I inch closer to hear. Turns out entitled mother brought her 4 young children to the reception, even though the invitations clearly stated adults only. The entitled mother insisted that her kids, I'm guessing at the ages, but the older one looked 8ish, and the youngest was under a year old, were super well behaved, so it was fine. Now keep in mind, this was around 7:30 p.m. Wedding planner was having none of it. She insisted that children were not allowed and she had to leave. In a last-ditch effort to get admitted, entitled mother shouted at the bride. The bride went over and listened to her for a moment and then said in a syrupy sweet voice, "Of course you can come in, entitled mother, but your children cannot." And she turned on her heel and went back to her new husband. Entitled mother flipped a nut, yelling about how she was invited and couldn't find a babysitter, etc. 3 of the groomsmen escorted her and her kids out the door. Sure. Now look, I've got kids. I've got 2. We have things that we do that's car club related where it's adults only. Because every once in a while you just need a night where it's just the grown-ups. Call grandma. Find a sitter. Or stay home. It's simple. Don't ruin somebody else's time. Because you're snot dripping brats, you can't find nobody, to sit with them. Okay. Oh. Okay, the Ballad of Puppy J. By Crouse Driver. Let's see what we got here. Too long didn't read, they hurt my dog. Let's see if they go, hopefully they don't go John Wick. Entitlement can take many forms. This is a story about who 2 utter wastes of human skin disguised themselves as pet parents and placed horrific entitled demands on a vet and a dog. About 15 years ago, a sweet older Texas lady walks into her vet's office with a stray. This lady is well known for destroying designer clothes by jumping into muddy ditches after wounded animals. Some people boat or golf. She rescues. Her vet has her credit card on file and will do payment plans because she's such a valued customer. So she was completely unprepared for the incandescent rage that exploded across the vet's face when she produced the injured puppy she had just found on her commute home. In tones commonly reserved for justified homicide, the vet asked, "Where did you get that dog?" Now we rewind by a few hours. Oh, I like skipping time. The vet is in his hospital. Our heroine is still at her job. Karen and Kevin and their obnoxious offspring enter. The children had little relevance to the story other than existing, and being Karen's excuse for the entitled stupidity to follow. Kevin and Karen are backyard dog breeders who think the world cannot survive if they don't create a line of terrier and chihuahua mixes. And they want to see what the vet can do for puppy Jay. Jay is adorable, white, and affectionate. Unfortunately, Jay also has a cleft palate. His right nostril is connected to her mouth, and when she licks her snout, the tongue comes out of her nose. She has one scraggly tooth that juts up out of the hole. Karen wants this fixed because it's scaring her children. Her children are currently attempting to disassemble equipment that costs more than their future college tuition, and the vet wishes something would scare them a little more. But he isn't going to punish an innocent animal because the owners are a bunch of knobheads. He takes a look. Fortunately for Jay, her visible birth defect is purely cosmetic and isn't going to interfere with her quality of life. The mild heart murmur the vet finds was slightly more concerning, but not by much. It just meant Jay would need a little more TLC in her later years and would have a little less time to love on the world. And this obviously is a happy dog with lots of love to give. She wiggles in his hands and keeps licking his fingers. In all ways that matter, she is perfectly content and happy doggo, looking forward to a long life of tummy rubs and tennis balls. She just gets a little extra slobber around. The vet tells Kevin and Karen, expect them to act relieved. They say yes, but what can you do about it? It's ugly and it's scaring the children. Oh, the children. Think of the children. Children are currently traumatizing the office cat. The children who are currently traumatizing the office cat, mind you. The vet says that there are things you can do, but it will be expensive, and this isn't a show dog. It's a mutt and a baby with a heart murmur. The vet eventually flat out refuses to do unnecessary cosmetic surgery on a puppy. He will consider it when the dog is older if the murmur doesn't make surgery too big of a risk to Jay's health. Kevin and Karen ask about how much this would cost. The veterinarian tells them easily more than this dog would ever be worth, even if it were a pure breed. Kevin and Karen talk for a minute. Their children have moved on to attacking the office ficus. The office cat has taken refuge on top of the bookshelf. The office staff behind the tranquilizers with desperation. Having reached a verdict, Kevin and Karen tell the vet to put the puppy down. The vet refuses because he didn't go to vet school to euthanize a puppy because it's a little ugly. He offers to take puppy Jay. They refuse and insist he kills the dog. They obviously feel entitled to either reap profit from Jay or take her life in retaliation for being born different. He tells them to take their puppies and their hellspawn and get the hell out of his office and not come back. He fires them as patients. He would have fired them out of a cannon if that were legal. 4 hours later, the gracious older lady who would gleefully adopt Kenny the White Tiger if she could, cram him into her little white Volvo, calls in with an emergency. She's got a puppy. She describes finding this puppy not a mile away from the vet office in a ditch, and she thinks something got to it because there's something terribly wrong with its nose. And out of her freshly ruined designer coat comes Puppy J. Only this is a filthy puppy who is literally shaking with fear. The good pupper is gone from those bright brown eyes. This is a dog who now knows the world is not a friendly place, that the safe, warm human friends can turn bad. Even worse, Puppy J cannot wag her tail. She is severely bruised by the back leg and some road rash. It looks as if Kevin and Karen, upon hearing that no, the vet would not euthanize a perfectly healthy dog, waited until they were outside the vet's office and hurled Puppy J out a window. The gracious older lady who destroyed her expensive coat by whipping a wet, scared puppy, and it was my stepmother. She brought Jay home and handed her to me. Jay spent the first night with us, molded to my body like some kind of warm, shivering, non-Newtonian fluid. It took a few days for her to wag her tail again. She was the most loving, devoted dog I've ever cared for. She indeed get a life of belly rubs, snuggles, and tennis balls. And her scraggly little tooth has a special place in my memory. Her big heart carried her as far as it could, and when she fell asleep for the last time, she was warm, safe, and with people who loved her. She gave us giant-sized love, and in return we gave her a good life and a gentle passage when it was her time to leave. Something's in my eye. So take a moment to wish ill will on Kevin and Karen, the a-holes who threw away the best canine in the world. Wish them things like bed bugs, tax audits, and animal cruelty cases. I've never met them, but still, those entitled turds hurt my dog. And they shared a picture. I'm saving that. I'll try to put this in there. Actually, this video might run a little long. Kevin and Karen, wherever you are, I don't wish tax audits on you. I don't wish fire, damnation, and brimstone on you. I wish that for the rest of your lives, that you have a combination of traffic jams, explosive diarrhea, and uncontrollable sneezing. Also, may the fleas of 1,000 camels infest your crotch, and may your arms be too short to reach. Jackasses. He looks like she looks like an awesome doggo. I'm kind of partial to them little doggos myself, if y'all seen Duke. Duke was left. We seen a crate pop up across the road. Didn't think much of it. There's a trailer park over there. My daughter's over there, seeing her little boyfriend, sitting out there right where I can see him, and I see something that runs up. I think it's a cat, and I'm like, oh, no cats. We got plenty. We have plenty of animals. Wasn't a cat. It was Duke. Duke showed up, and you know Chihuahuas are always the very active ones are always kind of skinny. Duke looked like he was about this big around. Don't demonetize me. I'm trying to say the dog was this big around. That whole okay thing, yeah. Um, bring Duke home. Come to find out that Duke had been over there for like a week in a crate, or with a crate with dog food thrown in there. He was covered in fleas and ants, fire ants. He is the happiest, little shakiest ball of energy, and somebody threw him out. Somebody threw him out because Duke absolutely refuses to learn how to be correctly potty trained. Or he had been. My son, who would be having tested for autism, latched on to Duke. Duke latched on to him. A doggo can make a world of difference in the life of a person. And for somebody to mistreat a dog, and I'm sitting here looking at Puppy J, for somebody to mistreat a dog because it has an issue with the way it looks, or it doesn't behave exactly how you wanted it to. I've got a dog out back, love her to death, dumber than a box of hammers. Love her to death though, good dog. She's a big baby. And Duke show up. People that mistreat animals, there's a special circle of hell that they need to go into. And they will. Alright, y'all. Boy, that got a little serious. But yeah. Krause Rider, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing the picture. I'm going to get this right here, hopefully put together. And normally I would make this one wait a few hours. I'm not doing that. I'm going to put this one directly up. Thank you for the story. Y'all, thank you for watching. And y'all, I'm not even going to go through my normal spiel. You can watch other videos for that. Y'all all have a blessed one. Remember, treat your pets the way you want to be treated. Treat your family, your friends, and other people the same way. Y'all have a blessed one. I'm going to get on out of here.